Hey, what's up YouTube, Skybadger here, and we are back on day 11 of our 22-player Clash of Nations beta tournament series. So, if we go into the newspaper and we have a look at where we're at, we can see that we still are in first place and we have just hit the 157 point mark. Now, we're not going to rise any more than this, well, we might go 1 or 2 points, I think, but we're not going to get any major ground today. We can also see that in the most advanced nations we are in third place on 10%. Now that is because we have been researching some pretty hefty researches. So if we have a look at our research at the moment, we can see that we're currently researching rocket and railgun while we just finished off commandos, railroad guns, sorry. I wish we had railguns, make real quick work of our enemy tanks, I imagine. Anyway, so the reason we're going for rockets and railroad guns is because they give us an advantage. Rockets in particular are really suited for our economy. We have plenty of rare and we have plenty of metal, but we're struggling with the food to produce a massive army. So if we can produce rockets which just rely on oil, and that's the only upkeep they need, then we can very easily mass produce them and use them effectively. The reason we're going for railroad guns is because we have a lot of areas that we need to defend, but at the same time, due to lack of food, it's hard to defend all of it. At the same time, our artillery is seeing a lot of use. If we come down to our front here in Romania, we can see that we have got artillery working away, and this is going to be here all day. In fact, I don't think I'll even be able to take out that unit even by the end of the day. Considering I have got level 2 artillery and it will do 2 damage to infantry, so that max 10 damage, it's going to be here for a while. These units here are also in fortifications and there's about 50 hit points worth of damage. So it will take me, I think, at least 10 hours of perfect luck to bomb these out. So that's pretty tough right there. Well, also on the Romanian front, we can see here that we also have our tactical bombers and interceptors just working away on Romanian defenses. Now, Romania is producing rockets and he is producing them in a decent quantity, and he's using them to try and hit our artillery, which I don't know why he's trying, because there's actually a lot of anti-air potential in my stacks. I've made sure that all of my stacks, well, not all of them, the majority of them have anti-air protection, and rockets at level 1 can be shot down, so he's basically sending his rockets to his death. But I'd rather destroy them before he can group enough of them, which he was trying to do, and then fire them, because that can do some damage. So we're taking out this group at the moment. Sadly, there is an interceptor in the city, and that's giving me a little bit of trouble, I guess. I am taking some damage, but, you know, it's worth it in the end. After this target here, taking out the city, we're going to move over to here and take this out, and that will allow us, for this infantry group right here, to then march on in. It is moving into position at the moment, and I would preferably rather use artillery, but if I waited for artillery to get into range, yeah, it's going to take me a long time, and even then, why would it go that way? I want you to go that way. That makes no, sometimes this just makes no sense. Anyway, so artillery would take too long. Tactical bombers can do it slightly faster, but considering it's in fortifications, yeah, it's going to take some time. So on the Romanian front, there's actually not much else happening. We've got this group here moving up, but it's, you know, just going to end up scouting. By the time it reaches the front, I hope to have destroyed these targets here, the targets in here, and then I can send my aircraft over to here to defend. Luckily for me, Romania does not have too many anti-air guns, so that works out really, really well for me. If we zoom out and we come down to here, we're also continuing to work on our fortifications, and oh, let's just, there we go. Oh my god, that's so much better. We're continuing to work on our fortifications on the border with Turkey. Now, I suspect any day now Turkey's going to collapse and Yugoslavia is going to push on through and take these provinces here. Considering Yugoslavia is manning forts in Romania's territory, I kind of expect him to end up fighting me, so I have to be really, really aware of that and be really careful. We've also got to keep an eye on units like this right here, which are out on the ocean. As stands, we don't have a navy in the Black Sea, I believe this is. Could be horribly wrong about that. We don't have any naval units in the Black Sea, but when this industrial center is done and working, I'll build a port and I'll immediately start getting some submarines in the area to defend our coast. In the meantime though, once this interceptor, which is being constructed in Stalingrad, is done, it's going to come down here and it's going to patrol the coast and make sure we don't get attacked from the side. Ideally, we want to force them up through this choke point and through our strong defenses, where they have to fight through these large stacks. and then head north. We don't want to let them just come around the side. If we let them come around the side, there's no point holding these fortifications here, and it becomes pointless. If they come around, we're never going to be able to catch them, considering we have to move through the mountains to then get up to here. So if they come around the side, they're easily just going to bust through here, and then the only units I really have that could stop that are all the way over here on my border with Greater Finland, which we're still sorting that out at the moment. I would like to send these troops elsewhere. As we can see, I've already diverted this group here back down south. So in terms of what else is happening in the world, we can see that Greater Finland is taking a piece of the United Kingdom. Now the United Kingdom, from what it appears, does not have much of a standing navy, and that is going to be his downfall. He also, by the looks of it, has not left many troops on defense. The majority of his troops here are in France and little portions of Germany that he controls. So that's not going to work out well for him. And it already looks like Sweden's moving in to take out some of these provinces as well. So that is good to see right there. We're also taking a little bit of land down here in Cuba, but it appears that Spain's got there first. Now, surprisingly, the southern United States is winning in the war against northern United States, and southern United States is inactive, so I don't know how that's quite working. In fact, it's kind of odd. There's not really much happening elsewhere, and the last day has been pretty slow in general, so we'll just move on to what we're building, what we're training, and all that not so interesting stuff. So at the moment we are building a few airways, and this is just ready to extend our runway network. Ooh, is there any chance that could... Okay, so to get around this, I'll march back the infantry. And the infantry can attempt to hold that. Can they get there in time? Yeah. So I'm building runways to extend the network, to extend the range of our network. At the moment, we cannot afford to lose this airbase because our planes are operating from it. And if we lose it, they're going to immediately fly back to base and they'll be grounded for the rest of the day. And then I'll... Oh, good. There we go. Look at that, guys. We just cleared out that city with our planes. So if we just move our patrol zone over to here, and we can patrol all of those away. So that was pretty quick. That was a good job done. Haven't taken any casualties yet, but I'm on the verge of it. So hopefully I can just go a little bit longer and get them healed a day change a bit. So apart from runways, we are also building infrastructure and industrial complex upgrades. Now it's about time we got around to doing these, because in our core we have not actually spent too much time upgrading our industrial centers and ensuring our economy is strong. So by upgrading these, I'm also making sure my production hubs can produce troops faster, and I can also make sure that they're producing the maximum amount of resources. So it is about time I got onto that, and I finally got in there, so that's also very good to see. Now we're also finishing off some infrastructure upgrades, especially in our food provinces. Once these are done, I would like to start some more, and then I don't have to worry about upgrading infrastructure and then them again, and then the next steps is to build industrial complexes, which are not cheap. So I'm also building an industrial complex, you'll see here, all the way down here. Now like I said the other day, we need a navy in the region, so once that's done, build a port, get a navy in the region. Already covered that, so we'll leave that there. In terms of what we're training, we can see that we're also training some more submarines. Now we're going to need a navy sooner or later, especially once we come around to taking out Algeria and kind of Spain, I guess. Also, what I want to know is how the hell is this still here? Like, if I was Algeria, I would have already moved through and taken that out. Anyway, so Navy is important for doing that, so we can cut off his troops and make sure he can't send any troops across. At the moment, we don't have a big enough Navy to do it. So we're gonna need some naval assets at some point. We do have a few submarines around the world. If we just do a quick click like that, did that get the subs up there? Yeah, it did. We have 7 in total, and I reckon we're going to need at least 16, and then I might consider building a full battle group, but at the moment from 2 ports, it's not going to be easy. It'll take some time. We'll also see that we are building some infantry, some artillery, anti-tank guns, and tanks in general. Now these troops are being produced to head down south to our border with Romania to beef up the number of troops we have. If we have a look at what we've got down there at the moment, we actually don't have all that much. If Romania was more active and he decided to actually push, he could push us back again and he'd do really, really well in that respect. However, he would take a bit of a beating from our Air Force. If he had anti-air guns, he'd be just fine. So as we can see, really, on our border with Romania, we only have 23 units, and that's out of a total of 90. So, you know, nearly a third of our army down here. I'm sure between Yugoslavia and Romania, they can have more than 23 units down here, and especially more anti-air guns and more artillery. You know, we really are quite outmatched, but we seem to be doing just fine. Because we have got our Air Force, which I guess gives us another 20 troops, so I guess maybe just over half of our defense forces down here. You know, we are making progress slowly, which is, you know, still good to see. But I would expect that they would be able to hold a little better than they are. I don't know why, but I mean, I was not expecting when we started to push Romania, who literally took out Ukraine. Ukraine was down to this province here and this here at one point. He had 4 provinces left over here, and you know, I've been able to push him with a little bit of help from Ukraine. Ukraine's done this part all the way back, so that's really good to see. And the Ukraine is slowly rebuilding, but just it's not cheap to do. If he had upgraded his industrial centers to a high level beforehand, he would be in a better position now. As when he rolled through and recaptured them, they'd be around a level 1, level 2 sort of level. So that's always another good reason to upgrade your industrial centers. On top of that, that's another reason why we haven't quite marched into here yet. We had an opportunity last night to march in and to capture it, however, I decided not to. The reason being, I don't actually have the troops in the region to hold it. I had some tanks I could chuck in there, but apart from that, it would be very easy to counterattack, and at that point, we're going to go in, we're going to really damage the city by capturing it, get our asses kicked, lose troops, they recapture it, and decimate the city. It's just not a good way to do things. So, there's not really much more to say, so I'll leave the episode here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.